Hello to everyone, I hope this channel find you well. If you are new to this channel, please right now click the subscribe button.
Okay, since we are start to recording, good morning once more to everybody. This is our third let's say meeting through the Teams platform, and today, according to our time schedule, since we are in fourth week, we are going to work on symbology, classification, and labeling. Actually, from this moment, from this session, our course become too much interesting. Time by time, the first lecture, it was theory, was a boring one. The second one, we just learned the overall interface of the arch map and S3 GIS. But from this session, we start to do some practical project, or let's say example, through the arch map, and from the next session you are able to create your first real map or real dynamic map from a coming session. Before we are able to work with our first let's say classification, I'm just going to tell you a very brief information about classification. What is a classification, how you are able to deal with a classification, and what does classification means in a, let's say, a real world, or why we need it at all. This is the things that I'm trying to cover it for you very briefly, and we have a simple let's say task to do that we will going to do it together in our during our course and our lecture. Then we will close our session at the end of the time. So I'm start from classification. What is the classification? First of all, why we need a classification? The classification, or in some other, let's say, terminology, they call it as a symbology. Forget about labeling. Labeling is something else, but the classification or symbology or categorize, we will get benefit of it in order, as it is coming from the name, we are going to put our staff in a very organized manner. Our staff, it could be let's say our archive, our folder, it could be a bunch of number, it could be a picture, it could be anything. For instance, you have some picture, you have a trip, you start to classify your picture. For instance, you say that this picture, it belongs to this travel, let's say last week, to the Morpho or Güzelyurt. So you are just classify it like this. Or you have some paperwork, you start to classify it based on your logic onto the specific or certain folder. So this is your own personal classification or your own personal category or symbology. It doesn't matter. But when we just coming to the real life, we need to know some certain rule to classify. For instance, we have first of all, we have a quantitative classification and we have a qualitative classification. For a quantitative classification, since it is coming from the name, we are dealing with a number. You can do a different sort of quantitative classification. For instance, someone asks you, I want to categorize whole building of the Famagusta district into the 4 class in terms of the floor number. So you need to find a very right classification, because we have, let's say, 12 floor building, and also we have 1 floor building in a whole Famagusta district. How you are going to manage, and how many class you need? If it is 4, what is the break point between the class, or what is the interval in academic word? So you need to find these rule and these things. Or for instance, you are going to the field survey site surveying, you have a topography. So we have a bunch of contour line. So we have from let's say we have a contour line from 35 plus MLS, mean level, mean sea level, up to, let's say, 55. So we want to make a very smooth gradient topography. We want to generate a contour. Which amount of contour we need to show this topography very smoothly? Or what is the optimum amount of the topography contour line to make a good transect? If you want to make a section over it, if you want to make a section, you need to have a specific amount of the, let's say, topography line in order to connect them and make a nice transect from your site. So we need to classify it accordingly. Or let's say we want to classify the age of our group. We are 11. With me we have 12 members in this system or in this group. We want to classify based on our age. So accordingly, we need to gather the age number, and accordingly we are going to make a certain class in order to represent our classification to the customer. Why we are classifying, maybe you will ask from me? Because when we are going to represent our project to the customer, classify or symbology or categorize each of them you want to call it. Actually, in ArcMap, ArcGIS, we call it symbology, but maybe further you will going to work with other program and you will see the different names. So don't become confused. These 3 are same. So we need to present our work in a classification manner or in a symbological manner in order to give appearance to our job, and beside our customer enjoy from our presentation. If you just provide, let's say we do some topography field survey with a total station with GPS, it doesn't matter. And you know that the GPS centimeter by centimeter get the Z value or topography or height. If I am just give it to the customer as it is really confusing. So I need to classify it in a manner that customer can easily, when look at it, understand. Or same thing for a floor. Imagine you want to provide a presentation for your customer about floor number of the Famagusta. Imagine we have a 5,000 building. So you are not able to classify, or you are not able to present all single floor to the customer because it is going to be confused. You need to find a certain group or categorize, maybe 4, maybe 5, in order to give a nice picture to the customer. So in order to figure out this issue, we will need to know some certain rules. I'm going to tell you one by one each of these rules. So As you can see, I'm just explain this part in a detail, but for a classification, we have two simple formula. Actually, these two formula work separate from each other. You are able to use this one or this one. It is very easy formula, you will see. Beside these two formula, actually one of them, you don't need to know both of them, either this one or either this one. I prefer this one because this one is too much accurate, but this one also a very handy one. It's not, it's also accurate, but it is handy. You don't need to do you don't need to get use of the calculator. You can easily use it with your mind. But let's go through of it. It's very easy. I'm pretty sure that most of you do it in your high school, but this is just for a reminder. Besides, we need to follow 4 rules. These 4 rules must be seen in our quantitative classification. We are going to work with a quantitative classification because qualitative not mean much for us in the, let's say, in our course in this stage. Therefore, we are going to work with quantitative. We are mainly deal with a quantitative job during our course. The first rule must be mutually exclusive. When we are, let's say, static classification, our class should be and must be mutually exclusive. The second rule must be all inclusive. It means that all of the member should be located in one of these class. For instance, you are not able to say, okay, I have a building in 12th floor number. I cannot put it anywhere. So let's get eliminate of it. It's not possible. So the second thing, our category, our class should be equal width, have an equal interval. This is second rule. For instance, imagine I am going to classify our class age group. I said from 18 to 19, we have just 2, let's say, width or 2 distance, 18, 19. Then I said 19 to 25, this becomes 6. So this group and the first one is not equal in terms of the width. And then say 25 to 35, which is 10. So this is wrong. All the groups should be equal. If I have 3, it should be 3 equal interval or equal width. And I must avoid from empty category. I cannot make, let's say, 4 category and 3 of them empty. For instance, I make, let's say I make a classification. I said from 10 years old to 15 years old, from 15 years old to 17 years old, then from 18 years old to 20. So the first 2 group definitely empty, no one going there, because we don't have student with 15 years old or 16 years old. So this is avoid from emptiness. Now, as I said, it is pretty easy. I'm going to do a very simple assignment together. Imagine we have this data set. This is our data set. It could be a contour line. It could be an age. It could be a floor number in, let's say, Brooklyn, New York. It can be anything. We want to classify these number in a certain group. Since I don't have a whiteboard, I'm just trying to open some notepad. Then we are able to do it accordingly. So these are our, let's say, data set or our value. As I said, it doesn't matter what they are. It could be even it could be a temperature. It could be a Famagusta temperature during a specific period. Let's say from, I don't know, let's say from March to end of August or beginning of the September. It could be a contour line, it could be a topography, it could be a age. So the first thing, we need to find our x mean and x max. What is the x mean or x max? Let me just write it here. I'm just use a hyphen or underline. We have a x mean, and also we will have some, again, underscore max, or let's keep it small letter. We need to find the biggest member and the smallest member. This is first important things for us. In a statistic or in our science, they call it data set or population. These are our population. Don't think as a human, these are our population. It call it somewhere data set, sometimes data, it doesn't matter. Any of them is correct, either population, either data set, or it could be some other things. These are our member. The first thing, we need to find the biggest and the smallest member. If I'm just quickly look over it, it seems that 20 is my smallest member, and if I am not wrong, 44 is our biggest member. So I'm just take it here. I just say 20 is my minimum member, and let's say 44 is my biggest member. So what I'm going to do, after I find my biggest member, I need to find a category or class. How many category or how many class do I need? As I said, we have a two formula. I'm going to write these two formula here. This is, let's say, class or category equal to the 1 plus under the parenthesis 3.3 multiplied by logarithm n in a closed parenthesis, or I could say 2 to the power of, if I find my, yes, I find it, to the power of k, which is again must be bigger or equal to the n. I'm just make this also a bit separate. So I just write my formula. What is n here? We have n. The n is our population or our member. I'm start to count to know how many member do I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I have 20 member in my work. Let's also put it here, n equal to 20. So I'm going to use this formula in order to find my k. Let's use this first one. I just say k equal to 1 plus, I need also a calculator. In order to find the logarithm n, I just transfer it to the scientific one, which is this one. I just say 20 and logarithm. It is equal to 1.30. So 0.3 multiplied by 1.30. Now going to solve it. K equal to the 1 plus, let's find the result of this, multiple, let's say 1.30 multiplied by 3.3, it is become 4.29, and I am close my parenthesis. The result almost equal, let's say like this, K equal to 5.29. This is our K. If I want to use this formula, what I'm going to do, this is actually for if you want to test. I'm just use it as a test when I wish to test my project. You need to ask from yourself, let's put it here, 2 to power of what, where is my, yes, 2 to power of what number equal or bigger than 20. So 2 to the power of, let's say 2 become 4. 2 to the power of 3 again is less than 3. Where is it? If we say 2 to power of 4, it's 16, still less than 20. Now, if we say 2 to the power of, 2 to the power of 5, it's become 32. So our rule is work. So I can set, therefore, 2 to the power of 5 bigger equal 20. Maybe you will ask, here is a 5 and why here is 5.29. When we calculate here from this method, whatever you get at the end of the result, you will eliminate the precision. It means that if I get 5.29, I would say that my K equal to 5. Maybe if you say what happened if we have, let's say just an example, if our K equal to 5.9987, again and again you keep 5, not 6. Okay? Again, one more example. If you say what happened if my K equal to 5.001, in all of this case you still keep K as a 5. Okay, is there any question up to this moment? If not, I can continue to the next part. Where is our teams? Here we are. So we have almost 11. Any question about this part? If not, I am going to next part.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
It's fine, isn't it? It's very easy. I'm pretty sure that you hear it, you do it, this job in a high school or before it. The next thing, after we done this part, we have the formula, the W or width. we find the equal width for our category. We need to put in this formula. This is also a pretty fine formula. What does this formula say? Let's make another notepad. Because I don't have whiteboards. If it is whiteboard, it's pretty nice over there, but here I need to do it in this way. So let's summarize what we have. We have a x, let's say hyphen min equal to 20. We have a x max, which was 44. We have n, or small n, which present our population or dataset member, and we find a k equal to the 5. These are the process that we get over there, and we put it here. So right now we have another formula. We wish to find our W or width equal to the, let's say, I'm just copy paste them. So a bit lazy. If we have this, let's also put it into the parentheses to make it work. So equal divide to the k. So in order to find this one, we will going to extract our 44 over 20 and then divide it to the k. So that part is 44 minus 20, it's become a 24, and we need to divide it by 5. Let's do it. As you can see, by 5, it's 4.8. Okay. So I'm just finalize that our W is equal to 4.8. It means that our class interval is 4.8, or our class width is 4.8. Now start to classify. I'm just try to make a very small table over here. We will say that we have a class number or k. Let's make a line here. Imagine this is our k, or our class number, which is 5. This one, we have our, let's say, classes, which we have it here, and we have a frequency. Frequency like this. I'm just put another line here. Okay. As you will see, we have a 5 class. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I need to generate my class. What is the smallest number is 20. So I put it 20 here. And then a hyphen. What is my width is 4.8. I just put 24.8. Okay, this is my first class. Now, what is the next number? The next number still is 24.8. 0.8 more to it. Okay, so what was it is 24.8 plus 4.8. We have 2.8 over there, which
Sorry.
is yes.
How did we get 24.8?
This is our smallest member, isn't it?
Yes.
So, and this is our width.
Yes.
I said 20 plus 20 plus 4.8.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I understand.
Now I'm continue. Let's just clear this one. Now I'm continue. I add 4.8 more to 24.8. So we have 2.8, which is 6, 1 here, which is 5, and I think 29.6, isn't it?
Yes, hocam.
So someone check it for me because I try to quickly do it. Maybe I made some mistake. So again, I'm add 4.8 to it. So if I add 8 to the 6, we have some 4 here and 1, and we have 35, I think. Is it correct? Can you check it, someone, for me, because I don't want to make a mistake.
34.6.
34. Yeah, right.
34.6.
Yes, because we have
66 hocam, yes.
Okay, right. I put it here. I add one more here. It's going to be
39.4.
39.4, and I put 39.4 over here, and
44.2.
and we have a 44.2 at the end. This is our classes. We have 5 classes. Now we need to start to put our member. These two parts, maybe sometimes I'm also making a mistake, if especially we have bunch of number. So we need to find all the member between 20 and 24.8. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, and we have 6, I think. Please someone also check for me. Now I'm going to find all the member, let's say between 25 to 29. We have 1 here, and we have 2 here, I think.
Yes, hocam.
Yes, thank you. And now I am going to count the number between 30 to 34. We have 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. Do we have more? 4 here, I think. Now we are going to find the number between 34 to 39. Not 34, because we consider 34 here, more than 34, so it means that 35. We have 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and I think 4 here. And the last one, we need to find all the number more than 40 or more than 39, not 39 included. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Is it okay?
Yes, I think.
So if it is correct, we need to test it to be sure. I'm just call total. My total, if I count this number, this should be equal to my n. Okay, we have 6 and 2 become 8. We have 4 more become 12. I put 4 on it becomes 16, and 4 is 20. It means that my job is correct. Is there anything with that? Let's also get, yes. This is our classification up to now. If you remember, we say some rule. We say 4 rules to you. I'm just coming to the rules and check my rules. First of all, I said must be mutually exclusive. What does mutually exclusive? It means that if I put, let's say 24 here, if I count 24 one time here, I cannot put second time again here. So it means that 24 consider once a time here, and second time I will going to consider 25. So like your mutual friend, they shouldn't be exclusive. They shouldn't be inclusive. They must be exclusive. One member cannot be located in 2 class. So this is about exclusive. Must be all inclusive. It means that all of these number should be go to one of these classes. All this number, you shouldn't have any number without a class. So this means that all inclusive. The third rule, all the classes or category must be equal. If you look at, all of them have same interval, which is 4.8. So this is about equalness. So we also consider this one. Avoid empty category. If you look, we don't have any class with 0 member. All of our member full and make classes full. So this is about the rules. So we consider the rules, we consider the K or number of the class, we consider the class weight, we consider frequency, and we testify it with N, which is become 20. This is about the classification. Any problem at the moment right now? With this?
No, sir.
Okay, I think it's clear and easy. I'm pretty sure that most of you do it these things in high school or before. So I'm just get rid of it since there is no question right now.